Hello everyone, my name is Cocker and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing well, and today we're going to the zoo, so I'm really excited for that. Now, the weather, not so good. It's not so good, but we're gonna try and make the most of it. Wow, I'm really bright right here. There's supposed to be 3 zones, one for jungle animals, one for aqua animals, and then something else, don't know what, large animals is my guess. Oh yeah, the ice area, I think. Don't know, we'll see. And yeah, we're gonna be going there today, so I'll see you there. Okay everyone, I'm at Wildlands right now and we're gonna go inside. There's quite a line waiting, so it's gonna take a while. But once we get inside, we should be fine. I'm gonna record most of it through my phone though, unfortunately, because it's raining quite hard, so my camera is not watertight, so we're gonna have to do it that way.
Now, fortunately, we did get greeted by this lovely looking sea lion at the start of Wildlands, and he was basically on this rock all day, posing for everyone. We also did get greeted by these lovely looking penguins. They were swimming about and standing on the rocks. Here we were approaching the ice bears, or polar bears, sorry, and you can actually watch them underwater, but unfortunately for us, they were not swimming at all. They felt more like sitting on the rocks. Then my dad started suggesting that we go here to the Terra Explorer, which is basically an elevator that goes down and like shows you, or tries to mimic, showing you what it was like millions of years ago. So yeah, there was just some props standing around here, but we're basically waiting for that counter to go down and for the elevator to come up when that counter goes down. I'm gonna show you around a little bit.
Je moet op knop drukken. En ik ben nou, oplet. Zo, warm. Wel lekker warm. Hier kun je wel lekker in moppen.
Welkom in de Terra Explorer. We gaan een reis maken door de diverse aardlagen.
15 jaar geleden.
Miljoenen jaren geleden leefden er op de planeet Aarde dinosauriërs. Archeologen vinden regelmatig. En nu zijn we aangekomen in deze periode. Kijk, rechts, een Brontosaurus. Hier hoef je niet bang voor te zijn. Hij is geen vleeseter. Aan. En deze eet wel vlees. In de verte zie je de meteoriet. We moeten maken dat we wegkomen.
Remember that my parents said that it was getting quite hot in there? Well, the room heated up with that meteorite striking, or, well, at least in the movie. It did warm up the room quite significantly. And there was warm air blowing through the entire room, and it was actually quite hot. Now, after that, my mom needed to go to the bathroom, so I decided to check out this gift shop, and it's like full with tons of stuff. There's all sorts of little toys and like pets in there for kids, but you know, if you're grown up and you like that sort of stuff, I don't judge. But yeah, they all look really cool, actually. They look very cuddly, and well, there's the entire shop is full of different types. There's polar bears. There's like, look at these. Like, you just want to take one with you, don't you? But yeah, it's a wonderful gift shop. So if you ever drop by here, be sure to pick something up because it all does look really good. Now here we had a snow owl, and she wasn't moving very much. There is another owl in there, but we couldn't find him or her. It was just a snow owl, but she didn't bother moving, I think because of the weather. But she did look absolutely beautiful. We were on our way back, and then we discovered that the seals were out. So a show had finished, and the seals came out of their performance theater, and they were swimming all about, enjoying the waves, and there were tons of them, and they all started gathering around the around this crate, waiting for their food. I thought they were doing some circling or dancing or something like that, but upon closer inspection, I saw that they were all going for the crate that's on the left, the door, because they just really wanted their food. Then we came upon this, which is a 3D movie. Not this was an introduction, but that's what's coming up. Okay, so we had to go through these doors, and then we had to take a seat, and this is a 3D, but you could consider it a 5D, 4D movie, something like that, because there is moving seats, there is water involved. My mom didn't want to tell me all of that stuff. I asked, is there water around here? She didn't respond, but yeah, there was water around there. So trying to protect my camera. The movie is definitely a recommendation. It looks really good, it feels really good, and is very immersive. It's by far one of the... It's easy to say that this is one of the best 3D movies that I've watched in recent years. And of course, when we left the Arctic area, we got meted by our great little sea lion friend, sitting upon its natural place of rest, this rock.
Oké, neem maar foto. Ik zit er klaar voor. Oké, wacht even krabben, want als sta ik er zo lelijk. Oh, even een momentje. Ja, lekker.
After the Arctic area, we started heading for the Jungola, which contains more jungle-like creatures. And you'd be quite surprised at the stuff that they have out there.
Whoa,
but we did face
wow.
a major difficulty here, and that was that my camera lens is not watertight, and it got some serious condensation on the lens, like you would not believe. It was so hot in the jungle area. It was toasty, to say the least, compared to all the other locations. The Jungola by far is the sweatiest location of all. It's very damp, but yeah, the thing that we saw then, whoo, just look at that. I thought it was either a python or an anaconda, but I am not sure at all. But it does look like it's the size to eat an entire crocodile. So I'm gonna go ahead and say python. But damn, that thing is large. And here we are in the Jungola, and wow, it immediately is so steamy in here, and just look at the condensation on the lens. There were butterflies everywhere in here. Very colorful butterflies, beautiful butterflies, and they looked absolutely stunning. It was hard to catch them on camera, but they look gorgeous. And the fish here too, very tropical. There were even some small turtles around here, but I didn't get to catch them on camera, as the second I wanted to shoot a picture of them, they went in the water and I lost trace of them. But look at these fish swimming. Oh man. It's quite majestic, isn't it? But as you can clearly see, condensation was a big issue. So luckily I had a paper cloth from my mother, and that allowed me to clean the lens, but I was doing that every 10 seconds around here. It was really a pain in the arse, and everyone else with cameras had the same issue. But as long as you got some paper cloth with you, you should be fine. I just hope that the fibers don't scratch the glass. I don't think so, though. Now, what these things are, I have no clue. I didn't look for a sign either, but there were also some, I forgot, I forgot the English word, but, yeah, they look very mischievous. They look like they can steal something from you. Like, they look like the type of monkeys from movies that steal purses from women. But, no, they actually look really, really cute. They're very nimble too, as you can see. Then we came across the big guns. Elephants! And there were, I think, 5 of them. 2 young ones and 3 big ones. Either that or 2 big ones and 2 young ones. One of them was actually recently born, or last year. One of those. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping track of it. But yeah, plenty of elephants. And this old Jeep. Well, it's not old. It's brand new. But you just put it there for prop. But it looks authentic. And that's all that matters. And just look at that big creature. Definitely don't want to be stomped on by that thing. Now, this was actually quite fun. These birds were flying around this place like crazy. Tons of them. And they were all just, well, they were basically, they would just join and eat with you. It's very strange, but they're everywhere, and I think that they have gotten used to the food a little bit too much, because they don't seem to leave the area. Oh, and just look at them. Or her. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to tell, but... oh, man. The thing is huge. Now, of course, elephants also have to eat, so this one was swiping around with a stick with leaves and eventually eating it. I was a bit late on the recording, but she was quite fearsome with the stick. Then we came to this, and I'm honestly not quite sure what it was, but it seemed to be the entrance for the main event of the Jungola. So the Jungola has this main area that like has a boat tour in it and that sort of stuff, like a giant jungle basically. And there were all these props lying around, and like looks really old and vintage. I mean, of course it isn't, but it does look really authentic. Even the alligator on top of the shelf, or the microscope, looks like a research facility of some sort. Well, facility, a research lab of some sorts. And these masks, quite creepy, but they look fine. Now here on the wall we had many birds listed, and I'm sure that I'm actually going to be able to see a few of them later on. These birds were absolutely batshit crazy. Oh man, and that's not the first time that it happens. Like if you're around here a lot, that's gonna happen multiple times. Then my dad started talking about like how the last time he was here, birds were all around this like waterfall pond, and they were all like bathing in it. But yeah, I didn't try to stay here for too long, as the condensation on the camera was getting quite significant. And that bird that I just showed you is basically this one. Didn't read quite what it was, but that's it. And just for your clarification, this place is absolutely huge. Do bear that in mind. Here you can see one of the boats going around the island, and we're going to be going into one too, but first we have to go through a certain path, and that will lead us to these boats. We also spotted this little creature in the woods. Monkeys! We started seeing lots and lots of monkeys, and they were basically around the center island. Basically that's where they all are, and you're gonna see them in a minute. It is actually quite fun to see them swing around. And just look at that gang on top. Whee! That's always something nice to see. And then we arrived at the boats, and we are gonna have a lovely trip.
We gaan deze weer gaan. Maar het kan wel, maar in principe kunnen we teruglopen, maar ja. Dan moeten we nog hier.
Kijk, daar gaan we ook nog daar. Kijk, hier is een hond.
Ja, maar die zijn binnen nog staan. Dan gaan we weer een boot.
Ah, it's a crocodile! Oh no, wait, it's fake. Aww. I do have to give the park credit for making everything look so cool and authentic. Like even this ambient area right here, just look at the smoke that's coming off of it. It really looks like it's like in the middle of a jungle with like tons of dampness, like after a tropical rain or something. But you do have to give them credit because it does look absolutely amazing. And then we came to another set of elephants. I think there were 2 in here. Now, unfortunately, not everything went according to plan, as our boat did get stuck, so we had to sit around for a while, so we missed the show in the Arctic area. Apparently, a foreign object made it into the water, but eventually we did get out. But that was not all, of course. There's also this little area for the elephants. Basically, it's an elephant wash or shower. There's 2 cannons that kids or adults can mount, usually kids of course, but you can spray on the elephants if they're nearby. They aren't right now, there's actually only one way in the back there, but sometimes they come over and you can give them a nice shower. They seem to like that quite a bit. Then I decided to do a little bit of a climb. This is where I came from. It was actually pretty difficult to get up here using, well, with my backpack on my back and the camera gear. But when I did get up here, the view was quite stunning. You can get a nice up high view. This place is usually only for kids, really. It's meant for kids. But I was like, this will give me a unique perspective, so I went in anyway. And there's my mom down there saying hi.
Het was kloot om boven te komen.
Trying to get past this slippery rope and trying to get to somewhere else. Although this place is quite a maze and I easily got lost.
What the hell is this?
Now this was quite an obstacle, but after I got past this, and some kids have been reported to fall into this water. Fortunately, I was not one of them. I didn't manage to slip, but I did manage to find my way out of that maze, and now I just had to find my way back to my parents. Now after we got outside again, we managed to get a better look at some of the elephants that were around. And looking from this, there were indeed 2 big ones and 2 small baby elephants around there. And they look pretty cute. I mean, I still wouldn't want to be near them, given that I might get stomped upon, but it's nice to watch. And here I found these cute little things, some otters. Just look at what they're doing. All piled up on the same location. Must be quite cramped to be standing there. Now, of course, after a half day of walking through 2 out of the 3 zones, we decided to get some dinner. And there is a lovely restaurant here at the at Wildlands, and it has really good food. It tastes really well, and it looks tasteful as well. At this point, it was time to head for the Serenga. So the Serenga is a savanna desert type thing. It's supposed to resemble Africa. And the animals that you see here are your more typical zoo animals, like lions and zebras and all sorts of stuff. But I'm going to show you all of those in just a minute. Meanwhile, let's enjoy watching these little puppies cuddle. I'm unsure what they are, but they look very cozy, and some of them were actually a little bit of fighting. Either that, or they're just cleaning each other, which is actually also very common amongst animals.
Dat is waar. Ah, wat is dit dan?
Then we met these feathered little friends. They're not chickens, and I actually don't know what else they could be. But moving on, we also had some donkeys around here. We had 2 grown-up ones and 1 new baby around there. Look at how cute they are when they just eat. Look at how like soft their fur appears to be. I mean, say what you want about donkeys, but they do look cute doing what they do. Just be careful not to stand behind one, as most of you will probably know what that will result in. But there were animals running all over the place. They were free to roam around as they see fit. They can get out of their pens as they like. As you can see, this one climbing over the rocks. But yeah, there are a lot of them. A lot of goats and not sure what the other name was again. Not in English at least, but yeah, just look at them. And their fur, I can confirm, is pretty rough, but it's nice to touch. Just don't be too touchy, Sander. Don't be weird. Dude, what are you looking at? Okay, I forgive you. Now look at these cute little prairie dogs. They were everywhere. And usually when the weather is a little better, they actually roam around the entire place. For now, they're just kind of hiding in their holes as the rain does kind of upset them. Just like us, really. But they do roam around freely, and sometimes they'll just get up close to you. Some of them actually did. But that is for later in the video. And as you can see, there's just tons of holes that they dig to make their little homes in. These ones were eating, and this one was just trying to dig his hole. He stopped though. And then we met these large fellas. There were, I think, 4 or 5 hippos in this area. But just look at them. They're absolutely huge, by the way. Like, size of elephants. Not even joking. And the sheer weight of them, I don't want to know. And those teeth, they look really fearsome.
Oeh. Ja, die grote tanden wil niet tussen zitten.
Now these hippos would often go to the bottom of the well, pool, the bottom of the
Hoe lang kon ze ook weer
pond,
zitten?
and you can actually see
Hoeveel
them
minuten?
from down below, as we'll show
Dan
you
zitten we nog
right
even
up
in de-
next.
Ze zijn met elkaar aan het praten voor mij.
Now in here I will show you the hippos from down below in the water. You can basically just see right through the glass. And there's that one that was chilling on the bottom. Just look at him, he's so peaceful. I mean, they do have to come up from time to time to take their breath, but as they are still mammals, but just look at them sitting peaceful. Then in the corner we came past these odd-looking hippos. One was laying on top of the other. I'm pretty sure that they were not busy or anything, but they looked funny. Next up was the Nandu and wallabies. So the Nandu is the big bird, and the wallabies are the small little kangaroo-looking, well, kangaroo-like looking creatures. They were just hopping around the place, and they are some magnificent creatures. I've actually never heard of them. But hey, smarter every day. Ah, and yes, then we finally arrived at the actual Serenga. So this is the place that is supposed to resemble some sort of savanna. Of course, with the rain and everything, it's very difficult to actually think of this as a savanna. But it does look pretty authentic to me. And look at that! Camels. And then we came to these caves, and in here are supposed to be the lions, but unfortunately it was raining very hard, and that probably caused the lions to not get out of their den. Sucks pretty hard, but hey, maybe we'll go another time during the summer again when the sun is shining, and I bet that the lions want to come out. But usually they are in these caves, as my parents describe, but unfortunately they're not there at this moment. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to present to you the, well, what the park calls a white rhino. It doesn't look like a white rhino to me, and I don't believe it is a white rhino. But they say it's a white rhino, so it must be true, right?
Nou, die mensen krijgen hun geld waard.
And then we got a ride in the truck, or safari truck, or touring bus, or whatever you want to call it. And they're basically giving us a tour around the entire park, filled with like zebras and giraffes and that rhino as well. So we're sharing a pen with those, well, some fearsome animals and some peaceful animals. But it does give you the safari vibe, if you'd like to call it that. Now, here we had a bunch of gnus. Not sure if that's the same in English, but I think it is. And they're called blue gnus, which is weird because they're not blue at all, but they have some sort of weird blue stripe thing going on, and that's why they call them blue gnus. I have no idea why, but that's just the way it is. And upon that hill is that same rhino that we just saw. There's only one rhino in here. But he seems to be doing just fine on his own. And these things are ridiculous. Like, they weigh 2 tons. So that's 2,000 kilograms. Not sure in pounds. But they can hit a top speed of 45 kilometers an hour, which is just insane. You don't want any such creature hitting your vehicle at the speed of that, because like that is like neighborhood speeds. And that's you don't want that hitting your truck. You just don't. That's gonna be a fearsome impact, and I bet that he's gonna be much more alive than you are.
Oké, beste avonturiers, we hebben een probleem. Hier voor mij ligt de oude Savannebrug, alleen daar is niet zoveel meer van over. En ja, we moeten natuurlijk wel verder met onze safari, dus ik ga proberen om de safari terug. Kamelen. En kamelen reptielen die staan natuurlijk bekend om hun bultrobben rug. Voedsel en te weinig water te vinden in een woestijn. Dan zetten ze het vet om in energie. Ze kunnen namelijk wel een snelheid halen.
Now here we got some ostrich. And these birds are insane. They can hit 80 kilometers an hour or 50 miles an hour and keep that pace for a very long time. Now the guys from the comms said that the zebras were quite restless and that they needed to get rid of their energy. But eventually they did started going, and just look at that. Look at that. They're just running around the place like as free as they want to. Until they hit the border, of course. Sorry, zebras. Now, of course, I don't have to tell you what these are. Unless I do. They're giraffes. And there were quite a few of them. And they're large, and they can actually also be quite fast. I mean, if they want to. But, yeah, they're really tall. Like, honestly, very, very tall. And they don't look like they're in a natural habitat, but just look at all the zebras running around. At least they feel free. Sorry, giraffes. Now, look at these baboons. We came across the, baboons area, and look at that. They were carrying their babies around their back, and it looked absolutely fantastic. But, you know, these are part of the family, of course. No offense, family. Now, after we made our round, we came back to the rhino and giraffes area and got a closer look at the rhino as well as the giraffes. They actually got pretty darn close. Now finally we're nearing the end of the route, so the final thing that we wanted to visit was a little kids area that had tons of guinea pigs, but also had maybe one of the oldest creatures in the building.
Okay everyone, we had a wonderful time at Wildlands. It looked absolutely amazing, and I hope to actually go there again one day, because we didn't get to see all the animals like lions and stuff, but yeah, we're gonna go head home now, and we'll talk further there. Hello everyone. Okay, so I'm back home and I'm doing great. This is actually the day after, so I've already edited the video and just adding this final part to it as a final message. So Wildlands was really fun. It was a bummer that we didn't get to see all the animals, of course. Some were just remained inside, or they didn't want to pop their head out simply because of the weather. There were certainly some other animals that weren't even outside because of, I think, like stick tails. I'm not quite sure what you call them in English, but there were quite a few animals that we didn't get to see. But if you ever go there, most of you will probably never go there, because most people that go to the Netherlands go to Amsterdam. But if you ever go there, it can be fun. It can definitely be fun, and I definitely do recommend it to go like at least once or twice a year. And you know, it's just cool to see all those animals. I mean, you hardly get to appreciate in these like first world countries like what it's like on the fronts of Africa or that sort of stuff. And of course you can go there, but that's really expensive compared to this. So no, I do definitely recommend it, especially if you live near my neighborhood. I do know that some people in my neighborhood watch me, so that's why I'm saying that. I do not hate Wildlands. I actually quite like it, and it's a nice place to walk around in. It really is. Now, of course, I am walking around with camera gear, and it's a bit clumsy. Sorry. So it's not the most comfortable for me, but I can definitely see that it can be really comfortable if I wasn't bringing along this much camera gear. But anyhow, I hope you guys have learned something from Wildlands or have found the video interesting or fun to watch. And if you watched it through the entire end, please do give it a like and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to get notified. You know, Instagram, Twitter, and get to our Discord community to talk with some more like-minded people. And I wish you all a happy weekend or week. And there is some big, awesome news coming up. So stay tuned, because right after this, I'm making another video. Good night all, and see you later.